So don't publish these types of blog posts if you want to rank on Google. So the first type that we're going to talk about is straight out of the box ChatGPT. So what I mean by that is just, typing in, write me a blog post about X, that type of thing is just not going to rank anymore because there's so much better ways to do it nowadays. And I'll get into that in a minute. There's another way, another type of blog post. We'll leave that until a little bit later in the video. But what I mean by this, we'll have a little look at this straight out of the box ChatGPT. So what we can do is just write me a blog post called 5 Best AI Tools to Make Shorts Reels with Subtitles and Voiceover. Okay, so I just thought that might be a good idea for a blog post. And so this is the blog post that you're going to get from ChatGPT, right? And it just gives, a little bit of an intro and some nice little, it is definitely getting better, right? But the problem is that everybody has access to this. So, there's probably 5 other people who are just going to do the same thing as this, right? And just copy out all of this and it's going to be the exact same, right? So it's not really that valuable, is it? If everybody can just promote this, publish this to their website and go to Google. So we need to take the next step. So what are the next steps, right? So the first next step is getting better at prompting, right? So what you need to do is just be able to write a good, long, decent prompt that gets much better output than the version from that we just said, the simple prompt, right? So how to create effective prompts for AI writing, right? We need to structure the prompts, right? So you need to have a clear outline, nested bullets, specific sections, right? So if you want to see some of my prompts, I have another video on this channel. If you want to watch it after this video, it's about Claude AI and all the prompts. So I've actually written out a full prompt for a blog post. If you want to see that, you can also do that later. So you also need to use a persona, right? So write from a specific perspective, right? So you need to say you are a SEO blog writer expert or something like that, right? Give it a persona. You need to give it a specific task as well. Don't confuse the AI by saying do this, do that, all right? It'll just get confused, right? So you need to give it a specific task, right? So you can see that other video if you want to get more into the prompts, right? But that's just some of the information there. The next thing is what I think is even more important now with these new changes coming that are, everybody's kind of switching to Google now. I think, it's getting there slowly, and Perplexity is becoming more and more popular. And the reason for that is just it gives a kind of a simpler answer, right? Imagine, if you have this text, this question, right, you just get the answer here, as opposed to searching through lots of websites to find the answer, right? So for simpler queries, right, I think it's better just to use an AI tool, search engine, right, to get your answer. And that's why we need to create blog content for more complicated, nuanced topics. So what else do you notice about this answer result, right? You have your sources here, so people will still want to know where the information is coming from. Perplexity, unfortunately, does hallucinate quite a bit, so some of the information could be wrong, and then, so you have to click onto the website anyway, but it's good for, getting your first understanding, right? But what you also notice here is this images, right? So I think images and multimedia and video are just becoming more and more important, right? So you need to spend a little bit of time, creating your image, and you can use AI to do that as well, right? Or creating a video. So ChatGPT is also bringing out its search engine, right? So this is a little bit of what it looks like here. So there'll actually be less text, I think, in ChatGPT. It's called Search GPT, right? It hasn't been released fully at the time of recording now, but what you see, and this is what I've seen a lot, is the images, right? So oftentimes there's an image here, text, sources, and then down here will be a video oftentimes, if it makes sense. And one thing that's quite interesting is, there might be one video. So like you really need to pay attention to quality, and that's what I'm trying to get across in this video, is like try to pay attention to make the best quality video, the best quality blog post, the best quality image, and then all 3 for each keyword, right? And you can see how that would be so much more important than, and so much more helpful to the user, right, than straight out of the box ChatGPT. So what I do is use a tool called Journalist AI, right? So I just did the same blog post here. And what you can see is that there's a lot more involved in this one, right? So you've got the table of contents here. So you can add all this stuff to your website, and this one will give you a better blog post, better first draft blog post. Again, we need to keep on editing and using your own expertise to try to make this one better, right? But it's gone through, and it's got bolded points. It's just, that little bit better than ChatGPT, I would say, because we've got images already. What I was talking about is super important. Imagine the search engine is looking for an image, right? In this case, maybe I'm not that happy about this image, right? It doesn't really make that, it's not that good. So what I can do is actually regenerate it, right? So I can just prompt it and regenerate that image and say, okay, I prefer this image. And one thing is, like, we have workflows now. We need to use workflows, right? So this one actually will do our whole blogging workflow for us, right? So we can just change whatever it is we need. Okay, so we already had this one, so we can just say rewrite and change it, or whatever it is you need to do. Add keywords, right? So you can find different keywords that you can actually use and add to it, and add links as well. Super important to add interlinks to your website, right? So I'll leave a discount code for you down below. It's Connor10, CONOR10, and you get 10% off. You also can just try this out for 3 articles for free, but it also includes videos, right? That's what I was talking about before, is like images and videos are super important. So it links that topic, right? If you have creating a blog post for one topic, then you need image, text, video, right? Really important nowadays, especially with Search GPT. So the other type of blog post that I'm talking about here, that I kept here, is a secret. And this might be a little bit controversial, but this is what I want to say. It's hand typed. So I really don't think we should be typing anymore. It just takes way too long. If you think about it, somebody else can use a tool like this and get a really long blog post, right? And get all of this as a first draft while you're typing away. It takes way too much time. I know that might seem crazy, but honestly, nobody is really typing out 100% articles anymore. Why would you, when you can use these amazing AI tools to get the first draft? AI is not there to replace us completely. It's just there as a tool that we can use to get that first draft. There are different ways to do it, right? You can do it like step by step through prompting, or using a one-click tool and get a really good AI blog post first draft, and then you keep on editing, right, and getting the best version. You add your expertise and what you can add to make it better. So I really see this as the direction of all content marketing, and pretty much every job, to be honest. If you're a developer or whatever you do, is like you use AI to get that first draft, and you keep adding to it, and you keep giving those prompts to get, do a whole workflow, and you can become so much more efficient and work so much faster. So that's it for this video. If you want to check out some of my other videos, I'll leave a link to them above. Thanks for watching.